Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to All Things Superman. Today, we're going to talk about this new Justice League trailer that just dropped from San Diego Comin Con this weekend, and oh my God, it is amazing. So let's jump right into it. So first, this is not going to be a reaction video. I've already seen the trailer. I've watched it about 15 times already, and it is absolutely amazing. I am in love with this trailer. There's really nothing about it to dislike. Everything about this trailer is great. Now, that said, there are quite a few notable moments in this trailer that could mean something specific for the movie and the direction that the movie is going to go. So let's jump into those. Now, the first thing about this trailer is that it seems that Batman has been out of the public view for quite some time. When you hear that line that comes in that says, "Where is the Gotham Bat? You know, where has he been?" That line that's in the trailer, that lets us know that Batman has probably been out of the public eye for quite some time. Now, what has he been doing while he's been gone? Has he been trying to assemble all of the members of the Justice League? Has he been, studying all of these, meta-humans and where they come from? Has he been doing all of that? Has he been mourning the death of Superman? I mean, there's some speculation that he took the death of Superman pretty hard. So what has Bruce Wayne, Batman, been up to this whole time? Now, the next big moment of this movie is we see Steppenwolf, who is the villain of this movie, do this teleportation thing into Themyscira, where, the tribe of Wonder Woman exists. Now, he comes in, he says there's no Kryptonians on this planet. There's no lanterns on this planet. Hint, hint, no lanterns. So we see that he's going to be very destructive. It looks like he's just going to come in and wipe Themyscira out. Looks like there's going to be this huge battle, where Wonder Woman maybe loses her people and all of this kind of stuff in Themyscira, and he's just going to pretty much wipe them out, or most of them out at least. That's what it seems like. Now, I don't know if that whole there's no lanterns and there's no Kryptonian things is just a nod to Green Lantern, or if Green Lantern is actually going to show up in this movie. I'm speculating that by the end of this movie, not only are we going to get Superman back in this movie, but we are also going to get a hint, at least a hint at Green Lantern. I don't know how he's going to show up. Maybe the Green Lantern Corps is going to, contact Earth, or maybe Bruce Wayne is going to get in contact with them or something. But I do have just a feeling that Green Lantern is going to show up. Now, the next notable moment in this trailer is we see Batman looking at some sort of projection of Superman. Now, he looks like he's in his Batcave. He's trying to figure out something about Superman. So what's happening here? My guess is that he's sort of figured out some kind of way to bring Superman back to life, or to help bring him back to life. Maybe he's been studying, Kryptonians. Maybe that's where he's been the whole time. He's been doing this study on maybe the possibility of bringing Superman back to life. He maybe has found some sort of technology to bring Superman back to life. And maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe that's what he's looking at in that projection. Now, there are some speculations, a very peculiar speculation that I want to talk about at this point that I read about online. Now, there's a speculation going around, or rumor that's going around, that possibly Martian Manhunter could show up in this movie. And that actually what we see as Superman at that part of the movie, and maybe in the entire movie, is not Superman, but Martian Manhunter, who has transposed himself into Superman to appear to Superman so he could maybe scare Steppenwolf away or something. I don't know. But I did think that was an interesting theory, because that's not outside of the realm of possibility for this movie. I don't know if Martian Manhunter is going to show up, but I do think we're going to be in for some big surprises in this movie. Now, another notable scene is we see Steppenwolf in this big layer of something with all of these parademons. So I thought that was a really interesting scene, because the Justice League is going to have a pretty good fight against them. These parademons are not playing. Steppenwolf is coming in. He looks completely badass. He's scary. He's a very formidable villain. His voice sounds scary in the trailer and everything. It looks like the Justice League is going to have some competition to deal with in this movie. And then we have this just totally badass scene from Cyborg, where he jumps in this, bat plane or bat contraption, whatever it is, and he, does his thing in there, and he says, relax, Alfred, I'll take it from here. I thought that was a very, very cool moment in the trailer. And then Alfred was like, do I know you? And, I thought that was going to be a cool moment of levity in the trailer, and possibly that what it's going to be in the movie as well. So we see also that we're getting a lot of sort of lightness in this movie that we didn't have in Batman versus Superman, that everybody was complaining about, that, the movie was just so dark and dry and had no humor and all of that kind of stuff. It looks like we're going to get a little bit of that in this movie as well. Now, another thing about this trailer is that it seems to be pointing a lot toward Superman. This trailer seemed to be focused on where is Superman? Like, where is Superman going to be? Where is he going to show up? He's been dead all of this time since he's been gone. We heard that line in the trailer. What has Superman been doing? So I think just from that alone, the speculation about whether or not Superman is going to show up in this movie is pointing toward the fact that he will possibly show up. Now, we don't know that to be 100% certain, but I think at this point, everybody is speculating that Superman will be in this movie. There was a lot of speculation whether or not he's just going to show up in this one or show up in Justice League 2, but it looks like, again, he's going to be in this movie. Now, there's another moment in the trailer that I really think is interesting, and this is one of the most interesting parts of the trailer to me. There's a scene where Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash, and Cyborg are standing on the street, and there's these police cars behind them, and you see these barricades behind them, and on that street that they're standing on, you see these flowers behind them as if they're at the memorial spot of maybe where Superman has been memorialized at. So the peculiar thing about that part of the trailer is that we see Wonder Woman at that point with this kind of smirk on her face. We see her with that kind of smile on her face. So I'm wondering at that point, what are they looking at? Is that the moment where Superman is going to be revealed in this movie? And also, Batman is not standing there with those four. So where is he in that moment? What is he doing at that moment? Now, possibly they could be looking at something that Batman is doing. But the fact that the area is around this whole thing where it seems like, where possibly Superman's memorial was or is, possibly that is the moment that we will get the big Superman reveal in this trailer. Now, the most badass scene in this trailer for sure is the scene where we see Aquaman. He lands on this parademon and he pushes him down from the top through the bottom of this building. He jumps out of the building literally he's like surfing on this dude in the sky, pushes him through a building and just kind of bounces off of him and land on the ground. That is like the craziest badass scene in this movie. Aquaman is going to be a badass. Who would have thought this 4 or 5 years ago, that Aquaman, the guy who talks to fish, is going to be a badass in this movie? I cannot wait to see what Jason Momoa is going to bring to this character. He looks really good as Aquaman. He has that scene where he says, we're all going to die. I think we're all going to die. So that was kind of a funny moment just to hear this badass say something like that. So I'm really anxious to see what Jason Momoa is going to bring to this character. Now, the biggest question, and I mean by far the biggest question about this trailer is that Superman that shows up at the very end of the trailer? We see Alfred in his office or wherever he is, and we get that Jurassic Park moment where the water bounces and you hear something on the ground. And then you hear Alfred say, he said you'd show up. I hope. And then he pauses on hope, or he sort of, makes hope stand out a little bit more in what he's saying. So is he hinting towards Superman? Superman, hope. I hope you're not too late. So I think that's a very peculiar moment. And if you freeze that scene, you'll see, or if you look quickly, because if you blink, you'll probably miss it. If you look at it on the right of the screen, at like the right part of the screen, and at the bottom, you see this redness that looks like Superman's cape. And you see a figure of a sort of a silhouette of a head there that possibly looks a lot like Henry Cavill. So is that Superman? What do you guys think? Let me know if you think that's Superman. I think it's him. I think he's going to show up. It's going to be a completely badass moment. There was a moment where he's probably slightly revealed, but not really. And then he's going to have this really, really huge scene in the movie where he shows up and just like, it's got to be a big Superman badass moment in this trailer. He's got to show up and he's got to wreck shop. When he comes back, he's got to come back hard. It's got to be absolutely amazing. We got all of these other characters. We've seen their powers. We've seen what they can do. When he shows up on screen, the audience needs to be just like, oh my God, there he is. We need to have our breath taken away. And it's just going to be like, oh my God, oh shit, that's Superman. Oh my God, that's Superman. And he's coming in and just like kicking ass and taking names, literally. All right, so those are the most notable things about this trailer that stuck out to me. You guys let me know what you think about all of this. What did you think of the Aquaman moment? What did you think of, Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg standing there? What are they looking at? Those moments, what's happening? Is Superman going to be coming back? Is that Superman at the end of this trailer? You guys let me know. Jump down in the comments and we'll talk about it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.